Hi there, my name is Melika, and in this video I'd like to share my experience and tell you what my first semester of studying abroad has been like for me. By the way, this is my first semester of university and not studienkolleg. It consists of a 2-semester course. Some studienkollegs offer 1 semester, but in my case was 2 semesters. After passing studienkolleg, the students are eligible to apply to their preferred university. First off, if you didn't already know, I'm originally from Indonesia and currently studying Betriebswirtschaftslehre, or you may know it as Business Administration at Trier University of Applied Sciences, Germany. The first thing I'd like to talk about is the fact that studying abroad means that you're away from home. Being away from family, for me personally, was something that was very hard to get used to. You see, before I went to Germany, my family and I were really close, physically and emotionally. Especially my little sister and I. We used to sing and watch TV and watch movies and watch TV series and play the guitar, do a lot of things together, and she would come home from school and tell me every single detail of what's going on in her life. I mean, we still contact each other and we still talk to each other, and she still tells me stories, but there are times where you just want to go home and hug them and do the things that you used to do. Before I went abroad, I knew that I was going to be away from my family and I'd probably go home only once a year or so. But when it actually has turned into reality, it made me open my eyes and think that, wow, it really is happening. I'm actually leaving. It was scary at first, but that feeling is normal and it will get easier. The next 2 things I'd like to talk about are the courses that I took and how the lectures were in general. So for my first semester, I took 5 courses, which were the so-called Pflichtfächer. Put English again. Compulsory subjects, that's what they're called. Anyway, the subjects I took were Grundlagen der BWL und Buchführung, Fundamentals of Business Administration and Accounting, Maths, Marketing, Business English 1, and Wirtschaftsprivatrecht, or Private Business Law. First of all, let's start with the lectures. I'm straight up not gonna lie, the lectures were hard. The first few days of attending lectures were very tough for me. Especially there was this one professor who speaks way faster than the others, and it was like I sat there, the professor was speaking non-stop, and all I could think about, oh my god, could he please just speak a little slower? I didn't know if he was speaking that fast because he actually does speak that fast, or because he's speaking German and it still seemed foreign to me and I still needed to adjust. I mean, studienkolleg was hard, but university is way harder. Sprachlos. German is hard. Law is hard. Have you ever tried learning law in German? Anyway, there was this one time a classmate of mine raised his hand and asked the professor to speak a little slower, and I was like, oh my god, turns out I'm not the only one who thinks that. He actually does speak that fast. Yeah, but after a few weeks of getting used to lectures and getting used to the language, it got better. I could finally understand them, I could finally pay attention to lectures while writing down the things that they explain. I felt so lost in the first few weeks, but once I had overcome it, it was genuinely such an amazing feeling. The most important thing that I do and never forget to do is reading the materials before lectures. It really has helped me in so many ways. Like, for example, whenever the professor explains it and you'll be like, oh, I already read about this last night, and it just feels so much better knowing that you have a grip on what the professor is talking about. After a semester of lectures came the exams. So let me tell you a little about the grading system in Germany. Germany uses a 6-point grading scale, meaning that grades vary from 1 to 6. 1 meaning excellent, 5 and 6 mean that you fail. If you get a 4, you pass. But getting a 4 isn't as easy as it sounds. Some people might say that it's just a 4, it can't be that hard. But no, you see, even getting just a 4 is not easy. You must put in hard work and you really gotta be proficient in a subject in order to reach the passing grade. Second topic I'd like to talk about is making new friends. To be completely honest, besides the new university life itself, I think that most people are afraid of whether or not they're gonna make friends or how they're gonna make friends. I experienced that too. I have friends who are from Indonesia, but there's only this one other person who studies business as well, so before I actually made friends, he was the only one that I talked to in class. I was so afraid at first, like I went to class and I saw an empty chair and I asked the person sitting next to it whether or not it's occupied, but that's the only thing that I asked. I didn't ask their names or I didn't start a conversation and they didn't start a conversation, so we didn't talk. If you think that I'm afraid because of the language barrier, then you're right. But it actually goes much deeper than that. You see, I'm the type of person who tends to overthink, especially in situations like that. For example, I start thinking, what if they don't want to talk to me? What if? Literally every single what if that you could possibly think of. But I said to myself that I had to at least try to make friends. So I got the courage. I went into class and I sat next to someone. I asked her name and we talked and she turned out really nice and it made me very happy. We exchanged phone numbers and we sit together whenever we have the same classes. And yeah, after I made just one friend, it became easier for me to introduce myself to other people and to talk to other people. Some of them said that my German was good, which I don't know whether or not they were telling the truth or just giving me a compliment, but nevertheless, it gained my confidence a lot. And it's important to stop overthinking, even though I know it's easier said than done, but after I made friends, I was much more confident going to class and much more confident interacting with other people. So if you're just about to start uni or just want to make friends in general, then don't be afraid, especially when you think that the language barrier makes it hard. Well, it does, but it's not the most important thing when building a friendship. As long as you understand them and vice versa, then that's enough. Another thing I'd like to talk about is that new environments, university in this case, tend to evoke feelings and experiences that seem foreign, I might say. You're in a new place, university just started, lectures are hard, you're living alone, far away from home, you're just beginning to fit in, and sometimes you can feel lonely. Like, you're in a crowd, you're surrounded by people, but you still feel lonely. I'd say that this is the beginning of the process, and it's normal if you sometimes feel like that. I personally think that in order to deal with those new and strange feelings, you have to be open to new opportunities and be patient with the process. Because everything takes time, and once you've fully accepted the process and you go through the stages of it with patience and you do it wholeheartedly, then you'll be able to overcome it. The last thing I'd like to talk about is something that not a lot of people talk about, but I think needs to be talked about. There will be times when you feel like you're carrying the weight of the world on your shoulder, or whenever you feel like whatever you do won't be enough. And you might start stressing or even start thinking whether or not you've taken the right path. And all of those thoughts and feelings could affect your mental health. I know what that feels like. I know what that feels like because I've been in that position. But I've learned from the past that when things get rough, it's better if you take a break and calm yourself. For example, when you're exhausted and you haven't gotten any sleep and you keep on beating yourself up, it will be no use. It's not good for your mental health, neither it is good for your physical health. Your body loves you. You should love your body too. Take a break. Drink some water. Close your eyes. Get some rest. You're even allowed to cry. I've always been told that we're not allowed to cry, but I think that we are. We're allowed to cry until our eyes get swollen and we'll feel better afterwards. But don't forget to raise your chin up again and show the world the strong person you are. Remind yourself again why you're doing this. What's your goal? What do you want to achieve? Look back at how far you've come, and once you feel better again, it's okay to continue to where you left off. So yeah, I guess that's just about it. Thank you so much for watching. If this video has helped you, or you can relate, or you just like it in general, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Comment down below if you have any questions or other video suggestions, and don't forget to subscribe because I might be uploading more videos about my life in Germany. So see you next time, bye!